Hi YouTube. Yeah, I haven't done a video in a while. Just a regular video where I'm not live streaming. Hey, how you doing? I'm doing this video. This was something I've been doing, it's that time of year again, folks. It's Halloween. Halloween's coming up at the end of the month. And once again, churches are coming out with trunk or treat. I can't, I'm sorry, I can't fathom this one. I actually just got done getting off the phone with, right before I started this video, I just got off the phone with a pastor, Ron Howard or something, I don't know what he said his name was, but this pastor at this church hung up on me after he tried to start an argument with me about why is his church holding a satanic festival. Oh, no, we're not. This is something that's safe for the kids. That was his words. Safe for the kids. My question has been, I've called 3 churches. 4. Maybe more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've called 5 churches. 2 of them I got to call back because I left a message. And all I simply started each conversation with was, hello, how are you? Do you know what it says in Romans chapter 12? A lot of people tell me they don't. Actually, everybody told me they didn't. One of the pastor that I got off the phone with, he's like, well, what are you getting at? Well, let me read you Romans chapter 12, verses 1 and 2. I urge you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, to present your bodies a living and holy sacrifice, acceptable to God, which is your spiritual service of worship. And do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what the will of God is, that which is good and acceptable and perfect. And it was at that point after I read that, just Romans. And then they hung up. That's what I got out of one person. That's what I got from the person at the Spry Church. That's down here by where I live on 50 School Street. That's what I got there. They're having their trunk or treat this Friday. The one I called Hayshire, the Hayshire United Church of Christ is having a trunk or treat. I got to call them back because I left a message and all I did was read the Bible verse and ask them, where's God in Halloween? Members of Wrightsville Assembly of God, they're not having a trunk or treat type thing. They're having a fall festival where there's food, games, and music. They're not doing the Halloween thing, so I don't understand why they were slated as that in the newspaper, because that's where I got all these numbers and advertisements from, was I got it from the newspaper this morning. So if you don't want me calling up your church asking questions, don't advertise in the local newspaper because I'm watching. St. Peter's Lutheran Church, that was funny. They have communion every Sunday at 9 and 11. Yeah. And I left their message there asking the same thing. Read Romans chapter 12 verses 1 and 2 and asked them, is God in Halloween? And then Water's Edge, and this is the fun one. Water's Edge United Methodist Church. I called them and they gave me the number of their pastor after I read them Romans. You see, false preachers, false prophets, when you point out to them in the Bible where what they're doing is wrong, they suddenly don't want to talk to you. You're starting an argument. How dare you say I'm doing something wrong? So they gave me straight away, after reading the Bible verse, she gave me the number to the pastor and I called him. And I read the Bible verse to him And he asked me, what are you getting at? I said, you're the pastor, you know the Bible. Romans chapter 12, verses 1 and 2, do you know it? So what are you getting at? I read it to him. Sir, I don't quite understand what this has to do with what we're doing. We're not having Halloween. We're not celebrating a pagan festival. I said, are you having children dress up and go from trunk to trunk and get candy? Well, that's not what we're doing. We're just giving out candy to kids who are dressed up. That's Halloween, sir. Well, yeah, but it's a lot safer for them to do it here. It's safer for them? It's a pagan holiday. Is God's church supposed to be celebrating a pagan holiday? All you people are going to have to answer to God. When you die, and when God asks you, why did you do this in my name? You're going to have to answer for it. Until then, you're going to have to answer me when I call you and ask, what you doing? Holding a pagan festival in the Church of God. Yeah. Do people think I do this just to be a dick or a prick or an asshole or to start arguments or just to be up in everybody's business? You know, it says in the Bible that we as Christians are charged to make sure other Christians are following God's word. So you Christians who think that Halloween is okay to celebrate, the fuck? I mean, seriously, people, I want you to give it a good thought. Because, and even if you're not a Christian, you don't believe in God, I want you to give a good thought of what you're doing for Halloween. You see, this is the argument I came up with this morning. You see, Halloween is an adult thing, just like St. Patrick's Day. Okay? St. Patrick's Day is for adults, not for kids. It's for adults to get drunk, to party, to have their holiday just for them. You damn kids have all these other freaking holidays throughout the damn year. Let the parents, let the adults have a couple of their own. Halloween's another one, okay? I'm sorry, but seriously, Halloween is an adult thing, and it's not for kids. We grew up, I grew up, and I'm sure you grew up too, and I'm sure you told your kids the same thing. Don't talk to strangers, don't accept candy from strangers, and you sure as hell don't lie to adults. So what are you doing on Halloween? You're telling your kid to dress up and lie to an adult, to go and talk to a stranger, and to accept candy from a stranger. Oh, they're just people who live up and down our street. Yeah, they're people who live up and down your street that you don't talk to at all. You don't know that person from that person. The only time you talk to them is when your kid shows up and you ring the doorbell. You know how many kids show up at my house that I have never seen in my life? But on Halloween, I'll have kids show up at my door for candy. I don't hand it out. My mother-in-law does because it's, you know, her house. You know, I can sit there and harp on it all I want, but yeah, I don't make the rules. Do I want a roof over my head, or do I want to be out in my car for the rest of my life? So, yeah. Halloween's not for Christians. The Christians need to get that through their heads. Don't worry, I'm going to be keeping this up. This is the war on Halloween. You don't want a war on Christmas? This is the war on Halloween. This has been Jay Joyner. Poof, love, and God bless. I hit the stop button, right?